In this video segment, I'm going to teach you how to log in your daily documentation for safety supports for Skip Dodge. Just like we've been doing, in order to practice logging in your documentation, you're going to need to open the tab for THERAP. You'll notice that I am still on my dashboard on the individual tab for THERAP, and I am still in test mode. When you open your tab again, be sure that you're still in test mode. If you are not, do that before you begin documenting. Also, then go to the individual tab. If you were logged out and you have to log back into THERAP, go ahead and log back in. You're then going to go to your dashboard. Once on your dashboard, you're going to come to settings, go to test mode, turn it on, and then you're going to go to the tab that says individual. So either way that you had to do that, you should now be on a page that looks like this before you begin to practice. What you're going to do then is you're going to go to the individual tab, you're going to go to ISP data, and you're going to click new. For our practice scenario, we will be logging documentation in for test group home. So click on test group home and then again click on Skip Dodge. What we're going to do is come down and find safety supports, and he has one safety support for fall risk. You're going to click on the safety support fall risk, and just like we've been doing in the other videos, we want to first look at the ISP part 5 for this safety support. Again, it's highlighted in blue, so we're going to click on that safety support to pull it up. Let's take a look at Skip's safety support. Here we have the long-term objective. DSPs provide safety supports when I am climbing rocks to prevent falls. The reason that we're doing this is that Skip likes to climb rocks, but he's at risk of falling, and he needs support so that he doesn't get hurt. We're going to document every single day at the end of shift, and the schedule is daily as needed. Different locations where Skip likes to go to climb rocks are rock gyms, mountains, walls. But the other thing that we know about Skip is he'll climb pretty much anything. So you really have to be on your toes. He'll climb trees, he'll climb just anything that he can. So we know that that's a part of who he is as a person. And we would have gained that information in Skip's personal profile, which we talked about at the beginning of the training, that it's important to read the entire individual support plan. If you didn't get a chance to do that, hopefully other people that work with Skip would have told you those different things to watch out for when you're with him. So your criteria for completion is when Skip no longer needs this outcome because he's learned to fly. So here we have discussed this portion, but here we actually have something written. Remember, we said to always look for materials that might be required to run the objective. For this specific safety support, you have to have specific safety gear. You're responsible for making sure that you have that gear ready to go so that at any given time you can provide safety supports to Skip. We're then going to come down here to the scoring method and the tasks. And in the task session, it says support, fall risk, count as support anytime you encourage me to use my safety gear and provide supports to prevent me from falling. Enter the number of supports that you provided. You then want to document in the comments section what supports you used, any new experience that Chip engaged in, what you did to prevent falls, and how you responded or what you did during these new experiences. The occurrence, you're going to count as an occurrence anytime that I actually fall. Enter the number of falls, provide care as indicated, and complete a GER. Document details of the event and how you supported me. So that gives us a pretty good idea. So what I'm understanding from this is that if Skip uses the gear that I provide for him, but he doesn't fall, then there's no occurrence. But if he uses the safety gear and he falls, that's still an occurrence. Do you see how I came to that conclusion? So anytime he falls, I have to count it as an occurrence, and then I have to indicate on a GER if there was an injury or a potential for injury from that fall. So when it comes to safety supports, usually when there's an occurrence, you typically also have to write a GER or an incident report in conjunction with writing your safety support. But we're going to look at that a little bit further on in the training class. When we get down to teaching methods, when I decide I'm going to climb something like rocks or walls, etc., encourage me to stuff my clothing with pillows and wrap myself in bubble wrap to keep me safe. Recruit a bunch of firefighters to hold a giant parachute under me in case I fall. So a teaching method here is to let us know that we need to encourage him anytime that he's getting ready to climb something, that he needs to stuff his clothes with pillows and wrap himself in bubble wrap. Usually the teaching method and the support instructions are going to tell you the best way to support the individual. They're going to give you specific instructions of what you do for that person to help to keep them safe or healthy. Okay, so we've reviewed the part 5 of this individual support plan. So just like with the other one, when I'm done, I'm just going to X out of it. And now we're ready to write a note for safety supports. Again, you are just going to enter the date that you're doing this practice scenario. So whatever today's date is that you're taking this training, just go ahead and leave it set to that default setting. You'll notice mine was done on 7/10/15. I'm then going to hit submit. And once again, if I have to review the safety support, I can always do that when I get to this point by clicking on the blue highlighted area. So we're going to look at a location. For this one, I'm going to say that it happened in the community. Remember, it said either community or home, and so I want to indicate that it happened in the community. And again, this is an example of how to complete this documentation. So the first part of this is the description, fall risk support. Count as a support anytime you encourage me to use safety gear and provide supports to prevent me from falling. Enter the number of supports that you provided. So for this one, I'm going to put in a 3 just for an example. And then fall risk occurrences. Count as an occurrence anytime I fall. Enter number of falls, provide care as indicated, and complete in GER. And for this one, I'm going to put in 0 occurrences for this example because remember I had said earlier, DSPs tend to struggle when they have 0 occurrences on safety supports. They don't remember what they should write in that comment section. So I'm going to give you a nice example of some ways that you could write a good comment when there's 0 occurrences. Always make sure that your documentation is billable. I don't know if I've covered this in other videos, but always make sure this is billable. Never change it to no. It's already going to be defaulted for yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write a comment for this safety support for Skip, and it will magically appear in just a few moments for you, and then we will review it. And my note has magically appeared again. So let's take a look at this comment section. Remember, I have documented 3 supports and 0 occurrences. So just like with my other documentation, I wanted support, my 3 supports in my comment section, and I also want to support that there were 0 occurrences. So my note reads, this DSP was informed by Skip that a new rock gym had just opened in Hampton, Virginia called Wicked Rocks, and that he wanted to go climbing today. This DSP packed Skip's pillows and bubble wrap into the car and checked to make sure the fire department's phone number was entered into this DSP's phone. So that's 1 support already. On the way to the rock gym, Skip saw a cliff on the side of the road and stated, next time I come here, I'm going to climb that too, referring to the cliff. This DSP reminded Skip that it's illegal to climb so close to the road, but this new rock gym probably has better climbs anyway. Skip stated, I don't care if it's illegal, I'm going to climb next time. So that's my second support, and also good information to put in your safety supports. The reason that's good information is because it's telling the support coordinator and other people that work with Skip that they might want to be careful the next time they go to this rock gym, and they may need to develop some ideas of how to support him should he, 1, try to exit the van to go climb that cliff, should they take another route to the rock gym so that they're not going past temptation for him to climb. So anytime that you have situations like that, you do want to include them in your comment sections. All right, so once at the rock gym, this DSP handed Skip his pillows and he stuffed them into his clothes. This DSP wrapped him in bubble wrap. Skip fidgeted during the process and stated, "I hate the bubble wrap part." This DSP gave Skip positive one-on-one attention and praised him for wearing it anyway. Skip then climbed 3 different rock walls: the wild wall, crazy climb, and insanity. So that would be my 3rd attempt, and you'll notice that I wrote what I did to provide supports and then what he did in response to the supports. And I do not restate in my comment section that there were 0 occurrences because I've already said that up here. He didn't fall. So I don't have to write again in here, Skip did not fall. Avoid writing things in the comment section that the person didn't do. For example, did not fall during the shift, or chose not to. You know, the chose not to, we need to state what did the person do or show to tell you that they chose not to do it. So don't write anything that didn't occur. And I think that's all the information that I want to give you. It's going to be your turn to practice in just a few moments. So go ahead and go to the next slide.